Hello. Welcome to this new video. This time I want to go over a topic that is so relevant nowadays that I see a lot of misinformation or information that is not accurate out there. And that is how to get into cybersecurity. I have over 30 years of experience in IT. In my career, I've worked from the bottom up. I started as a PC tech or computer technician. Then I moved into networking. Then I moved into firewall administration. Then I moved into cybersecurity. And within cybersecurity, you have many different career paths, many different jobs that you can do. So I want to give you the tools and ideas and the actions that you can take to get into the cybersecurity career that you want. So let's start by looking at this pyramid that I have created with the help of ChatGPT. As you could see, you have the entry level roles, then we have the mid level, then we have the specialized roles, and we have the senior leadership roles. If you are studying in cybersecurity and you do not have a technical background, then most likely you're going to land a job at the entry level role, which is there's nothing wrong with it. And by entry level role, I'm not suggesting that they are not properly compensated. You may get a well paid job working as a SOC analyst, right? More than you're making right now. But obviously, it's not going to be the same pay scale as you are, in the mid level or in the specializations roles. So you can go for a security analyst, IT security support specialist, cybersecurity technician, incident response technician. So, what you want to build the skills that are going to help you land one of these jobs. And the question is, how do you build the skills if you don't have the job experience? It's a catch 22 situation, as many people would say. Well, for that, you need to take action. And let's go over this visual help, you know, for the first time. So, we have build technical foundation. Again, if you don't know what the difference is between the different ports, what a socket is, how the applications work, you don't know the protocols, you have to start there. And you have to learn the basic foundations of networking because cybersecurity is going to rely a lot on the networking concepts that you already know, and that is at one level. I am from the school of thought that believe that cybersecurity at the layer 3 and 4 level, I'm not going to say that it's obsolete, but it's not what it used to be. Meaning that probably 10 years ago or 15 years ago, perhaps even 5 years ago, you had a lot of the attack vectors attacking the networking layers 3 and 4, the network and the transport protocols, right? And every now and then you had a layer 7 attack. Now I see more cybersecurity and cybersecurity attacks going towards the layer 7, which is the application. So you need to know how the applications work, how to properly secure the applications and all that. So with that being said, build your technical foundations. In this case, are certification good? Yes, they are good when you pair the certification with work experience. Now, if you don't have a job, and that is the main challenge that a lot of people have, if you don't have a job in cybersecurity, if you're coming from another field, let's say that you are an accountant, you are a psychologist, you are a bank teller, whatever you're coming from that is not related to cybersecurity, you need to show the potential employer or your future employer that you have built the skills. How do you do that? Well, you can do it in two different ways. You can, yes, get certifications, get certified. For instance, get CompTIA Network Plus or Security Plus or one of the other entry level certifications, and also get comfortable with Linux commands and different tools. Now, for that, what you need to do, you can use different resources, and let me show you this right here. You could use different portals such as Try to Hack Me. Uh, in which you're going to be able to go through different challenges, and at the end of the challenges uh, you can get a certificate of completion, and that is good for you to demonstrate to anybody you have successfully completed that specific challenge. And there are many different sites that can help you with that. Try to hack me, hack the box. We have uh, Pico, capture the flags. There are so many of them that you can follow. For instance, try hack me. In try hack me, you can complete career path. They do have training for you if you want to choose one of your desired career path. You're going to have all the necessary training for you with hand-on experience on the different career path. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. With that being said, let's go over this new visual right here, how to enter the cybersecurity field, right? That's a title that I created, and with the help of ChatGPT, it organized it in a way that makes a lot of sense for me. Understand your cybersecurity landscape, right? That's number one. Develop core IT foundations. Yes, you do have to know the basic foundations, and yes, it is good for you to take basic cybersecurity courses and basic networking concepts, right? Make sure that you do I believe, Microsoft and Google. They do have cybersecurity courses, but in order for you to successfully complete them, you have to have a good understanding of networking. So it does help for you to go or take the Network Plus training from CompTIA or any other training that you would like to take. Hands-on experience, right? And practice. This is where you're going to be using these online services to create experience. You could follow try Hackme, the different path that they offer for you to build your experience, and then the challenges. So with that, if you don't have the hands-on experience of working in a company, you can use this as a proof that you are successfully trying things and doing things. And as you could see, you could have the roadmaps that they have in here. If you wanna, and then these are the classes that they recommend for you to take. If you want to be a security analyst, you take these courses. Penetration testing, you take these courses, and all this is in their platform. By the way, I'm not getting paid by TryHackMe or any of these services. So it's not that I'm promoting this or pushing you into that direction. I'm just showing you what has worked for me and what it has worked for many different people. And the other thing that I would suggest you to do once you're building experience, once you're getting hands-on and developing the foundation, and this is something that I don't see too many people talk about, or they see it as something that is old school type of networking. You do have to network at the personal level. Become part of groups, become part of study groups, become part of certification groups, whatever that is, but you have to network with other professionals in the field. Attend conferences, attend seminars, attend anything that you can to rub shoulders with people in that industry. Because if you've been in IT for many years, you know this. We usually hire people from within. We hire people that we know. Um, it is easier for you to get a job if you come recommended by a colleague or somebody who works in that company than it is by just simply applying and going through the whole vetting process when they're looking at resumes and things of that nature. So develop interpersonal skills, what we call soft skills. When you are into IT, sometimes you think that all you want to do is fix problems and cybersecurity and protecting things. You have to develop communication skills. You have to be comfortable working as part of a team. You have to develop, again, what I said before, what we call soft skills, because that's going to make you a person that other people want to work with. So if we're going to be part of a team, like managers don't want to hire somebody that's going to be causing issues within the team, they want to hire somebody that is going to be able to adapt and make the team grow, make the team stronger. Then you can go for your certifications. And this is what I say: do not chase certifications for the sake of chasing certifications. Now, if you are like me, perhaps you like taking certification tests just because it's fun, right? And I do that. And I do take tests that of things that I'm not actually working on just because I want to get better at it. And I study those things and I say, you know what, this is a good thing that is going to make me a better professional when it comes to cybersecurity. But I'm not using those certifications uh, to uh, to land a job, right? I'm not. I'm just using the knowledge to make me a much better cybersecurity professional. So take certifications, I would say, if you're starting in your career or if you're mid-level, take certifications that are relevant to what you are doing. For instance, if you work as a security in this security operations centers as a SOC analyst, and you're using Splunk as your SIM, then try to get better at Splunk. Take Splunk training and get those certifications. It doesn't make any sense for you to take a Datadog course if you are using Splunk in your company. You know what I'm saying? So use the certifications to validate the experience that you are doing at work. Those certifications are going to have a much higher value and they're going to help you to land a much better job. It's not just taking certifications for taking certifications, right? So do that strategically. Do that with to validate what you know now, what you're doing now at your current job, and also think about what your next job is going to be. And then you're going to hopefully land the job. And with the interpersonal skills, you're going to be able to maintain that job because that's something that many people don't think about. It's good to land the job, but you have to maintain that job, right? And you have to be a team player. You have to like show up on time. You have to do what you need to do. So, and again, so we have built the foundation, get hands on, develop core skills employers want. Then we have build experience without formal employment. You know, you can volunteer, that's always an option, but you could do all of the practice ranges, and that should count for that too. Create your personal brand, your certification strategically. So we have that. Let's get that out of the way. And let's just review this right here. For mid level, you have security engineers, digital forensics, incident response, vulnerability management, application security, and all these are job titles. And sometimes, as a security professional, you're going to be doing all of this. You know, it all depends on the size of your team. Sometimes you're going to be the red team, the blue team, the purple team. You're going to do it all, which is good. And then think about what you want to do, right? As you move up into cybersecurity, like, do you want to stay with hands-on? That's totally fine if that's what you want, right? You want to do, like forensics. That's your thing. You love it, or vulnerability management, or application security. But then you can move into more specialized roles. You can do governance risk and compliance (GRC), right? You could do incident response management. You could do malware analysis, and what I would recommend everybody to look into is cloud security, right? So when it comes to cybersecurity, most of the trainings that you are going to be taking is going to be based on, what I mentioned before, uh, layers 1 through 4, and maybe 7 tools that you're going to be using within the organization. But nowadays, most organizations are moving to the cloud, and you have to know how to put into action the different security configuration settings for the different cloud providers. And for cloud providers, we have the two main ones. We have GCP, Google, and we have AWS, and you also have obviously Microsoft. And they all have their different cloud security tools to defend that. But in order for you to get that, is it makes a lot of sense to move this way, right? Just get the entry level, mid level, and then go there. Or you can go from the entry level and then forget about this right here, and then you can try to specialize in or take the cloud security classes for the cloud providers that you're using, and then you're going to be able to perhaps move in that direction depending on the size of the team. So I hope that this is going to open your eyes or show you something that maybe you haven't heard before. Certifications are good. I'm not going to say they are not. They are not going to land you the job by themselves. The other thing that is going to be super helpful, and this is something that many of you are thinking, this is like old school. Old school still works when it comes to networking. You have to shake a lot of hands. You have to be part of the group. You have to be part of a community that is doing the same thing you're doing, and you have to know people. And by knowing people, I'm not just suggesting trying to send a friend invitation through Facebook or LinkedIn kind of thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about attending conferences and telling people that you want to get into this career and see if they know of anything, if they know of any job opening, or if they know of any projects that you perhaps can participate. And even if just for the experience, you have to talk to people. You have to be out there, network with people, and shake a lot of hands. That is going to increase the chances of you getting the job. So if you coupled networking with certifications and validations of your um, experience, then you have a much better job of getting the job. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please click on the like button, comment in the comment section if you have any questions, or if you have anything that you would like to add that is going to help you land a job into cybersecurity that is not just certifications, because by themselves they're not going to do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next video.